Hi, welcome to the Cows Podcast. I'm your host, Hunter Burney. A catalyst is defined as a person or thing that precipitates an event. A catalyst is something that it participates in a reaction but does not get consumed in the reaction. There's a heart behind this podcast for, people with aspirations. There's a heart behind this podcast for motivated people that want to make a difference, that have a bias for action, that really truly want to be a catalyst in the environment around them, both professionally and personally, in their homes, in their workplace, and beyond. So welcome to this podcast. I really hope you're enjoying the series that we're in. Welcome to this episode, and let's dive right in. All right, we are back for this transformation series and discussion with Rachel Stander. Part 3, if you have not listened to or seen the first and second segments, definitely go pick up on those and catch those before you dive into this last segment of our conversation. What I want to pivot into is sort of kind of a forward-looking and just advice and encouragement. And so if you can, just tell us, what are you excited about looking forward? Obviously, you're in the middle of this big project. That's probably the obvious answer, and we could talk a little bit more about that. But just kind of what are you motivated by in the immediate term and look forward to?
Yeah, right. Well, sure. As you said, I am in the middle of this of this film, and I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about it. In general, I'm also just sort of specifically looking forward to, I don't know, seeing it manifested, right? It's something that we've been working on for years. And I think when we get on to set this summer and we start to actually shoot the footage, it's going to be amazing. Because it's such a concrete thing. Mm-hmm. And also, you've got your days scheduled out. When you actually get into production and you're on set and you're filming and you have all these people that you've coordinated and you've planned and you've worked it out and then there's a visible product. Mm-hmm. That is, it's kind of magical, except it's not magic. It's just a lot of hard work and people showing up on time.
Yeah. And I would imagine there's kind of this sense of energy that you've been building up, right? And will in some sense kind of release and kind of open up and blossom from there as you start that process.
Yeah. I love that idea of it, of the energy, of it opening up and blossoming. Yes, I love that idea.
Well, I think about it in terms of it seems to me like a very, very much sowing seeds, right? I mean, you're not just writing something down and hoping for a long period of time. There's this incremental sowing seeds, nurturing, nurturing. And then you're going to kind of get to see the harvest, even though there's still work to be done. You're going to get to see the harvest when you start to get into production. So anyway, that's kind of what was going through my mind as you were describing that.
Yeah, no, I love that description. It's true. I mean, we get to see the harvest, and then, then we take all of it and then we have to go make a feast.
Right.
But I think there's something really exciting about the harvest itself, the production or the harvest and taking that raw material, which still needs to be shaped, but it's finally physical. It's finally outside of yourself. I think that's what's really exciting, right? Because over the development phase and even pre-production, it's not external somehow. I mean, the script, I guess, is, but it just feels so contained within your head and your computer and what your conversations with your producing partner and the director. But when you get into production, it's suddenly it takes on a life over there where you can sort of stand back and you're oh, there's this thing that I brought into existence, and there it is. I have evidence, and it's very exciting.
Yeah.
And weird.
and just curious, from a production standpoint, are you able to almost kind of like lease an area to do like an equipment to use? Is there like is it kind of turnkey thing, or do you have like a bunch of capex for specific equipment, or I don't know. I'm sorry, I may be getting too far into the business
No,
side of
no,
it.
no. So our we, this script has a lot of locations. So part of the scheduling challenge is figuring out how to get, all the cast and the crew to each location for the length that we need to be there to get the shots we need to get. So we do have like half of the film roughly takes place at a house, at the brother's house. Thank goodness. So those are days where, yeah, we'll rent the location, we'll rent the house. We
Yeah.
can like just be set up there. It's the same thing day to day. Like it's those are the easy days in terms of location. But then there are days where it's like, oh, now we need to go see, do one scene at a library, and then we're doing one scene at a bookstore, and now we have like 4 scenes at a hotel. So we also I'm forgetting the most exciting location we have is a roller skating rink.
Okay, nice.
Which
awesome.
my producing partner and the director Vivian, she is very excited about the roller skating rink. She apparently has very fond memories of roller skating as a child.
Yeah.
It was a big part of her youth.
Cool.
So yeah, there's actually 2 scenes in the script that take place at this roller skating rink, and we'll be shooting those over a course of 2 days. But that's a challenge. I mean, any location is a challenge because you're sort of dealing with the constraints of the location. But the alternative is, I guess, you build the location, which clearly we're not going to be building a roller skating rink. So, it's about finding a roller skating rink that sort of has the right atmosphere, the right tone, that also is like down to have a film crew come in for a day or 2 and be on the rink. And weirdly, there are not very many roller skating rinks around. I think there's only like 3 in Los Angeles.
Wow. And,
in Los Angeles, of course, they're quite savvy to film crews who, they're like,
sure.
There's scenes from The Office that take place at roller skating rink. I'm pretty sure they filmed it at one of these. So, and we're like, oh no, we don't have the same money as The Office. Right. We're an ultra low budget film production, indie film over here.
Yeah.
What kind of deal can you give us?
Yeah, tone down the expectations. That's funny. Well, cool. What in terms of, and maybe this is through the light or lens of the transformation that we've been kind of discussing about with your career and the transformation of Beth and Ben in this film. What advice would you give to, I guess in general, just your younger self or kind of a young aspiring, maybe it's somebody in the arts, maybe it's somebody in a different discipline?
It's a great question. Advice. I mean, I think something that I'm still learning. So not even advice for my younger self, just advice for me on today.
Okay.
Is to not wait for permission, to not wait for permission to do whatever it is that you're working on or feeling called to do. Just start it. Just start doing it. and see if there's, if a conflict arises, then you can deal with that when it does. But chances are you're not going to get a clear invitation. So if that's what you're waiting for, you're going to be waiting forever. You have to just sort of like listen to the impulse and the instinct that you're having, that there's this thing you should go do, and then go do it and see how it goes. And then course correct if you need to. But yeah, I mean, I think listening to your own instincts, and those impulses that you have, and being more tuned into that than you are to, I don't know, the needs and desires of everybody around you, the voices, the noise around you.
So I love your metaphor there, right? Being tuned in and contrasting with the noise. I think that's spot on. I appreciate you saying that. I think that's consistent. When you were describing that, I immediately thought back to like you taking action to do acting classes, even though you were comfortable and could have continued in that. I immediately went back to that point in your story where it's like you did something that was actionable, that you knew you were going to get some kind of feedback from. But you're right. It's very, very rare to have, a moment or an inflection point in life slap you in the face and it'd be crystal clear on, oh my goodness, I need to do this. And this is all figured out. And, there's no obstacles in my way. That's, that just doesn't exist. Right. I'm trying
Not
to think,
for most of us.
I'm trying to think of the author. I'm drawing a blank. The book is The Obstacle is the Way. I read it that's 2019. Wow. I need to go back through it because the principle is like whatever that tension is, whether it be a business objective or something personal, oftentimes the obstacle is the path forward, and that's being able to kind of work through that and get past that is generally going to be, the path that you need to go down. So I think that's kind of consistent with what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Well, where would be the best place for somebody to reach out or just kind of check out and see about Scrap?
Yeah. So Scrap's website, scrapthefilm.com. And that's got, links to all of our sort of social media and contact information. But yeah, I mean, we'll be posting throughout production and post-production and release on our Instagram and our Twitter, which are Scrap the Film as well.
Okay. I will make sure that there are, for anybody listening or watching, there will be links in the show notes for sure.
Perfect.
We'll grab that social tag. You said it's on social media. It's still just Scrap the Film.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great, Rachel, to talk through and kind of kick off this transformation series, hearing your story, talking through this feature film. I'm excited for you and just can feel the energy talking to you and looking at what you have, what you've been investing in, and you and Vivian and kind of building this. And so I'm excited to kind of keep tabs by the time. So this is April, as you said earlier, when we're recording. What point? It'll probably be July, I think, when this goes live. So where will that put us in the?
We might actually be on set shooting. We'll be harvesting by then.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, I will, definitely keep in touch and excited to kind of see where this goes.
Great. Thank you so much, Hunter.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Definitely subscribe, check out Be a Catalyst on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel where you'll find videos in addition to the Catalyst podcast recordings that give a little bit more context around my heart for training, my heart for seeing early to middle managers and first-time leaders really thrive and be a catalyst in the organization that they're in the project that they are after, everything that goes along with that. So thank you for being a part of this. Tune in for the next episode, and remember, be you, be confident, be a catalyst.